It is not unusual to have several notebooks open at one time in OneNote. To see your notebooks, you can simply come up here to where you see the name of a notebook and then click the little drop-down arrow right beside it. And this will show you a list of all of the notebooks that you have that are open currently. And what you can do if you want to close these is you can simply right-click on one and then simply click on Close. Your Outlook program will run better if you have very few notebooks open at one time. So close any notebooks that you don't need. Just right-click and select Close. If you want to add a new notebook, you can come up here and select Add Notebook. Be sure that you give the notebook the name that your teacher wants you to use here. And it's important to understand that you cannot have two notebooks with the same name. So if we had WT last semester, then this is going to have to be WT, and then we'll put a dash, 2, dash, and then your last name, dash, your first name. Make sure you type in your last name and your first name and not the actual words. So you'll have to have a W2 dash 2 dash and then your last name dash first name. If this were the BIM class, it would be BIM. If it were the DIM class, it would be DIM. The same way, dash 2 dash your last name first name, and so on. All of the other classes, just be sure you put whatever instructions your teacher gives you here for naming this notebook. And make sure also that the notebook is set to be saved in your OneDrive. It will not work for you to put it on your computer or to browse around looking for a different place. Just make sure that OneDrive is selected and then click on Create Notebook. It says your notebook has been created. Would you like to share it with other people? Then the answer is yes. Invite people. And you're going to share this with me. And we'll be doing that this semester at jimfikes@live.com. So jimfikes@live.com. When you get that typed, this big box stays in the way. Just press the Tab key and that box will go away. And it brings you down to where you can click on Share. And as soon as the share is linked with that person, then you'll see my picture and that information show right here. Now your notebook is created. Now there's two other things that we need to do in here real quick. We're going to come back then into that notebook. This is the WT-2. Now we want to create a section. Rename this one up here. We're going to have a section called About Me. Under the About Me tab, we want there to be a page called Outlook. And this is where you will type in your username. And then type that username in here. This will be your Outlook email address. And then we want there to be your password. And then type your password here. Now, you'll also want to create another page, and this one will be for Schoology. Schoology is what we're using this term instead of Edmodo. So same thing down here, Schoology, and you'll type in your username and type in your Schoology username right here and your password right here. Now there's another tab that I want you to create. Hit the plus sign and I want you to do typing speed and enter that. And then here you can just put all typing speed test, because this term, whenever you're doing your typing speed test, I want you to put them all here in one page. And I want you to align them all along the left edge. Don't put anything out over here in the far right. Put it all along the left edge, one right after the other, right after the other. So this is where you'll put all of your typing speed tests. And then you'll start creating your tabs for the units. And we'll begin with Unit 9. And of course then you'll put the date that we meet for class, which would be October the 24th for the first day. And then you'll type all of your notes here. And again, I want all of your notes along the left edge. Some people have been typing here, and then they'll type over here, then they'll type over here, and so on. But the way in which I have to go about reading these things, I need all of these to be lined up over here along the left edge, just like you would if you were writing on a piece of paper.